Hello, welcome to my channel. I am trying out van life for the first time, and of course I'm doing it by myself because my husband told me, why don't you just get a hotel? I do a lot of surf trips, a lot of road trips, and sometimes I end up tent camping or I sleep in my car. I have a sedan right now. I am trying to build out a Jeep Cherokee right now into kind of a car camping build, simple build. I love the idea of just being able to pull over and sleep comfortably in your car. I nap in my car a lot. In my sedan, I just recline it, which isn't the most comfortable, but yeah, I would like to eventually have something where I can just sleep in a bed. So I rented this van from outdoorsy.com. It's my first time renting. I found a lady near me who is renting out her van for a decent price for 3 days, and she had unlimited mileage. I am going down to South Carolina and Georgia, and I'm going to try to surf. Of course, the forecast is really mild for waves, really small waves, but of course it's going to be 30 degrees at night, so that's gonna suck. Anyway, so here is a tour of the van. Here's the driver's seat, and then here is the table area. So the table comes down and it attaches to a leg. Some charging stuff, cupboard, some blankets, ceiling fan, and then some hooks. So I put my coat up, some storage space up here, and then these are magnetic curtains. I really love these. Definitely gonna do something like that for my Jeep. And then this is the stove. It's covered right now. It is gas, so that's nice. I did bring my camping gear with my little backpacking stove and a gas canister, or fuel canister, but just in case. This does have an oven. I'm not going to use it though. And then some storage. The water is turned off right now because it is winterized. It's been in the teens and 20s and 30 degrees up here. I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. But here's the sink. And then here's my wetsuit. I didn't want to hang it because that's obviously for like a loofah or something. But here's the shower and the toilet. She said I could go number 1 in there. It's like a compostable toilet. And then she showed me where the plug-in is outside. And there's a cable or a cord for it, and you just plug it in at the campsite, which is a lot less complicated than I thought it was going to be. How people do this with the shower and the toilet, I'll have to figure that out. I mean, I'm not going to use it, obviously, because it's winterized, but... And then this is kind of flimsy, but that's the door. Some food. I did bring my own food, and I have it in a tub in there. I'll get situated when I pull over tonight. Freezer, and then latch, I guess, is to keep it from swinging open when I'm driving. And she already stocked it. She did say it gets pretty warm, or it keeps pretty warm in here. I brought some extra blankets. This is my grandpa's blanket. He was a climber and everything, so yeah, just looks like a fun blanket. Hopefully it'll keep me warm. And then I brought my backpacking sleeping bag. It's supposed to be rated to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I guess we'll find out tonight. It's supposed to be down to 30 degrees, and then there's a little fan. There is a Mr. Buddy portable heater down here. She showed me how to use it, so I've never used one of those before. So I'm gonna make it as far as I can tonight. It does take about 8.5 hours to get to Charleston, South Carolina, which is where I'm tentatively planning on surfing tomorrow. It's afternoon right now. I'm not gonna make it that far, so I'm just gonna stop probably at a rest stop or maybe a Cracker Barrel parking lot. It's still free to park there, so we'll see what happens. I forgot to mention, but I have no intention of ever buying a van or building a van, so I just wanted to try this out, and this is much cheaper than investing some money in a van. I love watching van life videos on YouTube and the different ways that people convert cars to sleep in and everything. I am a little bit nervous driving this thing. I haven't driven anything this big ever. Okay, first stop. Nice meal. Haven't had a Lunchable in a good many years, so why not? Oyster crackers. Got my earplugs. Yeah, I'm really liking this whole bed in the car. Just climb into the back of the car. Also, this is definitely a bed just for short people. I'm a little bit over 5 feet tall and I barely fit in here. I think most people, or most men, have the beds going parallel to the length of the car. Oh, I love this. I don't want a van, but I like the idea of a bed. Had a nice nap and I'm gonna hit the road again. It's getting pretty cold outside. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, but further south I go, the warmer it is. I'm at the North Carolina-Virginia border, and I used to stop here quite a bit when I'd go visit friends down at Fort Bragg. I used to drive like 6 hours from Maryland down to Fort Bragg, and then 5 hours after I moved down to Virginia. All right, I'm going to just spend the night here, I guess. I don't really have anything more in me to drive. Just brush my teeth and put in my routine. There's a lower parking lot. It's a pet exercise area, and it looks like a bunch of people are just down here camping overnight. I thought these places, these rest stops, you weren't allowed to camp overnight. I mean, people do, obviously, and I mean, if you're not blatantly out camping, I don't think they really care. It's pretty warm here, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, so that is 5 degrees Celsius, I think. It's supposed to be the same temperature tomorrow and a mix of snow and rain. It won't be bad. It's not gonna stick, hopefully. Usually the south doesn't get much snow. Got some chargers, and I've got my little light. So this does keep in the heat pretty well. I did put my sleeping bag at the end of the bed against the windows to keep it in even more. Yeah, as you can see, this is a pretty short bed. Again, I'm just over 5 feet tall, so I don't think this would work for somebody like over 5'8", maybe 5'7". Shades in the window, and then there's another window behind here. So it feels so much warmer here than it did like an hour ago. Actually, I think I've been driving for 2 hours, but anyway, feels like a completely different season. It was frigid up there, and here it's just almost a little bit humid, even though it's 41 degrees. It says it's 41 degrees, but it's just so nice to have a little bed to cozy up in. got everything. It's quite a step. Alright. Getting a slightly later start than I wanted, but I'm gonna roll. It did sleet last night. It got a little chilly. I probably should have blocked off the windows, but oh well, I was fine. I just had the down quilt over me, and then I had my sleeping bag too. I didn't end up taking it out of the bag, but I had that just in case. But it wasn't terrible. I slept really good. Didn't want to get up this morning. All right, time to get some gas. So this was a nice little rest stop with gas, restroom, some fast food options, and lots of shopping. This was an animatronic little dog. If you look closely, you can see it pseudo breathing. All right, I am right at the South Carolina-North Carolina border, finally. And just gonna do a little rest stop here and throw out some trash real quick. I need to learn how to park this thing.
Kaboom! And was up on there and just kept going. I keep going.
This lady just came up to me from parking enforcement and she was like, "Is that your RV?" She said it just like that too. And I was like, I'm driving a van, no RVs. And she was like, that there classifies as an RV. It doesn't, but anyway. And she was like, oh, you can park on the street. It's too big for our parking lot. The van fit in the parking spot just fine, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna head out and then get dinner in a little bit. Head north, I guess. See if I can track some waves. It's just not very good this weekend, but this is the only weekend that I could really take a 3-day and do the whole van life stuff. The weekend that worked out. I'm in Savannah. I was gonna go to an oyster bar that looked really nice. My husband recommended it to me. Not our first time in Savannah. Well, obviously he's not here, but I went here like 7 years ago with a friend. Parking is $36 for 2 hours. Are we in New York? I feel like we are, or Jersey, because when I was at the beach, The parking enforcement was out. I mean, these people are like Nazis. They're trolling around. This sign here, the parking lot also says no RVs. And I mean, I don't know if they consider the van an RV still. There are huge trucks in this parking lot, like full-size pickup trucks that are just as big as this van. They're not restricted from parking. $36 for 2 hours is insane. I'm gonna go north along the freeway, and if something looks good, I'm gonna stop, maybe at a brewery. It is cold. I don't know what is up with this part of Georgia, but I don't like it. I have been here before, but not a fan. This trip, at least. Stopped about halfway through South Carolina. This isn't a very big rest stop, but it's gonna be my stop for the night. My back's hurting and I'm tired. We'll get down to 34 Fahrenheit tonight. It's 35 right now. Put the window shade up here pretty quickly. Gonna definitely keeps it cold out tonight, hopefully. So I've been to pretty much every rest stop in Virginia and North Carolina, north of Fayetteville, which is off of 95 a little ways. But my childhood friend and her family used to live at Fort Bragg, and so I'd go visit them, gosh, like 4-ish times a year. Definitely did a lot of road trips down here, and then I've got friends down in Georgia, South Carolina, like I talked about. Man, I've been to every rest stop in Maryland, Delaware, there's one, Jersey, and New York, because my husband's from New York, and so we go up to my in-laws quite a bit. We have dogs, so we stop along the way to let them out. Anyway, the current rest stop I'm at is pretty small. It doesn't look like it gets a lot of attention from attendants, but it does have quite a large grassy area with picnic tables behind it, so you can bring dogs there and everything. Though it does seem to have an issue with something that rhymes with Constitution, which you will find in areas where there's truck stops and stuff. Quite a booming business there. World's oldest profession. Got a bunch of maps and brochures about South Carolina from this morning when I stopped at a rest stop, different rest stop. Rose breakfast. Piggly Wiggly cheese. They also had Piggly Wiggly eggs. So the temperature dropped quite a bit, and I took out my down sleeping bag. So I pushed some towels against the window to keep out the cold. But it's getting pretty chilly in here. My grandpa's blanket, my quilt, camping quilt, and then yeah, the 25. I guess it's 25 and not 20. Degree sleeping bag. It is very cold. Well, it's not that cold. It's 31 degrees. So it's just below freezing, 1 degree. I stayed nice and toasty last night underneath my 25 degree sleeping bag, as long as I kept it over me. Got quite a bit more of driving to do. As far as van life, I definitely would not want a bed that is this close to the ceiling. I keep like my head. I do like the idea of a loft bed, but it's a long drop to the stool. Luckily there's a stool, it's a little folding stool. I guess you just have to figure out, you know, what's your priority, storage or space in the bed. Also, my husband could never fit in this bed. Quite a bit of storage space underneath, which is nice, but I wouldn't need that much. Also, I would just want a bed to sleep in. The toilet's nice. I did use it last night. I need to empty it. Cooking is nice too, but I could do that outside. I do have a camping stove, like one of those Coleman double burner ones for car camping, and then I have a jet boil and then a little backpacking stove, so I could easily use those. Whew. Still quite chilly in here. So I've got all these brochures about South Carolina. I've been here many times. I went to boot camp actually here at Fort Jackson, Relax in Jackson. I have been wanting to go to Charleston for years, and my husband keeps promising me that we will. I really want to surf Folly Beach. Last summer I did a surf lesson with this girl who went to college or goes to college in Charleston, and she was telling me about all the places to surf there. So I was like, ooh, I want to try that out. By the way, if you're looking for some South Carolina surf vlogs, content, whatever, Montana Surfs, I'll put her channel down here. She's got a fun channel with a lot of South Carolina surfing. Looks nice and warm down there most of the time. I can see my breath. Oh. South Carolina actually has some surf, which is pretty cool. Didn't expect that. Not today though. So unfortunately, yeah, this was gonna be a van life slash surfing vlog, but no surf this weekend. It was the only weekend I could rent the van though, so I rented it a month in advance. It's a 3-day weekend, so what it is, got to test out the van life and see what I like and don't like. I definitely don't like the size of this van. I wouldn't want to drive something this big normally. It's way too big, especially trying to get it into regular parking spots is just, or trying to make turns is just, ugh. Alright, gonna attempt to wash these dishes. I got some water from the drinking fountain at the restroom, so I'm gonna try to use that and then set up this dish rack. I guess I'll stick it in the sink because I'm gonna be driving down the road and I don't want it flying around. So I've just been balancing this glass very carefully on the wood or pseudo wood, whatever, on the kettle to open this up, because otherwise I lean it right here. Okay. So obviously it's not a good idea to do dishes on top of the grass at a rest stop, because that's where dogs pee and poop and people pee there as well. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm a dog owner myself, and yeah, I don't know. At least the ground was somewhat frosted. right, took a little bit longer than I thought it would, a lot longer, doing all these dishes. Alright, I'm gonna do some stretches outside while this defrosts, and I'm gonna do a police call, aka just like double checking around the exterior of the van and make sure I didn't leave any dishes. Okay, so the fridge, I'll hold it open. Luckily my bags blocked it. I guess I forgot to latch it. And it has been making an awful sound. I think it's this. I forgot to put this away. I had to make some turns. I don't think it's this stuff that's rattling. Yeah, I've got these little things in there to keep it from rattling, I guess. Yeah, hopefully that solves it because that was so annoying. Oh, maybe it's this. Okay, that was quite aggravating. To stop, go to the bathroom, and then grab something real quick.
It said